Alright, and welcome back to another episode of Gamehiker. We're just chilling out in this peaceful little village.
Oh no, the guards. There's that jerk.
Yeah. Another cool thing. Oh crap. Here is Tingle, the wanted man. What? Somebody wants me? Oh, really? Oh.
That's so sweet.
Not so sweet anymore, but whatever, he's dead now. We'll pop down here and grab what's in here.
Get that thing.
Just a heart piece up here, I think.
That sounds right.
Lots of rupees. This game certainly is pretty generous with the rupees, but I never got to a point like I do in other Zelda games where, you know, I just felt like I had too many rupees.
Right. Yeah, until the very end, you've got plenty of ways to spend your rupees.
Yeah.
I think we alluded to it before, but there's that fairy fountain. You dump rupees into a pile and expand your bomb and arrow capacity.
Yeah. Although that whole thing is, it's sort of annoying just because... I went to Lost Woods. But it's sort of annoying just because it takes so long. Like, you can't just throw in 100 rupees.
Right, you've got to do it in increments of 20, I think. I think it eventually bumps up to 50. You have to go all the way back to the door to reset the room.
Yeah. So here's that music we were talking about before, the Lost Woods theme.
So good.
So we kind of ruined it by going into this cave. This is a secret hideout for a gang of thieves. Yep. By the way, it's sort of like, nobody's allowed in here, but hey, by the way, since you're here, I heard that our ex-members are staying at the entrance of the desert.
Here's some sensitive gossip about our club.
It's like, yeah, I know he's not your leader anymore, but come on, show some respect.
There we have our elusive dancing mushroom.
Yay! Smells like sweet, rotten fruit. You can give this to anybody who wants it. I think I will.
And I know just the place. That's the other thing, is this game was, at least the first couple playthroughs, difficult enough that you had enough reason to spend your rupees on potions.
Yeah, exactly. Although it's never really that hard that you really had to, and plus the introduction to fairies sort of negated that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a bomb there.
I always love those Lumberjack guys.
Yeah, and they're the port for the Game Boy Advance. They had a third brother.
Oh, that's excellent. Is he just like standing around not doing anything?
He does quizzes for you, so you can do quizzes about the game and so forth.
Cool.
Which makes me wonder. I wonder if the three of them are Link's secret brothers before he turns on Tingle.
So. Maybe so. They do look older than this Link.
Yeah. Or at least goofier. You know, I should have went this way when I first went to the Eastern Palace, but I was
Oh, you were busy.
I forgot that the bridge was there because I was thinking of the Dark World.
Yeah, the bridge is out in the dark.
Alright, we'll drop off this at the witch. Also, another cool thing in the remake is they established that this witch, her name is Syrup, and they replaced the assistant in here with Maple from the Ocarina or the Oracle games. The witch that flies around. That's another cool thing.
Yeah, she came back in maybe 2 months.
Oh, I can't do this yet. I don't have the.
Oh man, forgot about that.
At least I can come back.
Does she still give free samples? I remember free samples.
She does. I'll go and get one since I need one. Hey, can I get one of those free samples? Why, thank you.
So
now that's what you call service. They're a lot stingier in other Zelda games. Like, you don't know other one where they actually give you a sample.
Right. Only they know they're competing against fairies.
back then, the fairy thing wasn't as obvious. Like, you have a bug catching net, not a fairy catching net, so you don't necessarily know that you could be catching fairies with it.
Yeah, it's crazy how there was more of a knowledge you had no reason to get either through Nintendo powers or talking to friends, but who originally figured these things out is so obscure.
Well, I mean, like, it wasn't necessarily this game or a Zelda game, but I remember it being such a big deal with my family and like their siblings, my parents' siblings, playing like Super Mario Brothers 3 and figuring out where the warp whistles are.
Oh, okay.
And, just stuff like that, and figuring out those kind of mysteries or where the warp stones were in the first Mario.
Yeah, I didn't remember where I learned half of this stuff.
Yeah,
nowadays it's like BuzzFeed's top 10 things you didn't know about Breath of the Wild.
Well, yeah, and then you just look it up because I've already looked for everything I can, and I'm tired of looking for things now.
Right.
This desert felt so big.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, you just run across it, whatever.
Right, it's like 4 screens.
Which, I'll be honest, I like my deserts kind of small. Like, there's really nothing more annoying in a game than getting a huge desert. And, like, yeah, we're going to show you that deserts are huge and terrible to walk through. And, like, I know that already. Don't make me experience it.
You did not need to convince me the deserts suck.
I think these are shells, or they look like turtle shells to me.
Desert levels do tend to be the worst.
Yeah, this is a very nice desert. It makes its point, then you get through it, and you're done.
And even the interior of this palace is a big freaking desert.
Now, did you know in this desert that there's another character who uses the same sprite as Hasperhala? He's sort of off to the east, and his name is Agana. That you'll only ever find out his name is Agana if you talk to him before you do this dungeon, because he didn't bother to introduce himself if you go to it after it.
I think I found him. I don't know that I ever learned his name or noticed that it was the same sprite.
Yeah,
he's just one of those guys who gives you little tidbits of Hylian history.
I think what's Hasperhala what's memorable for me is like trying to figure out what a sprite looked like without the official artwork. And to me, he always looked like he was a Ferengi.
I can see that.
Like, I don't necessarily have like a good justification for that, but like he just has like those. It looks like he has like huge ears.
He's got the giant ear ridges, a big bulbous forehead. You're not being unreasonable here.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it's like something like that,
you must never fail to find all the treasures in each dungeon. This is like back before they just had random, stamps in your dungeons that you had to collect.
Right. Yeah. Instead they're giving mild tips on game mechanics.
Right. I mean, if it was like a modern Zelda game, so after all, it'd be like, Link or Tingle, you must always remember there's going to be all kinds of useless junk in this dungeon. Just try to find the important stuff. I mean, prioritize a little bit. I mean, you are trying to save the world right now.
Yeah. You don't need to read every sign. This sign was a test, and you failed.
Right. Did you watch the boss keys for Skyward Sword?
I did.
He pointed out like a sign in that one that he's talking about that really cool creative dungeon with the puzzle, and then like they just throw in the sign.
Yeah,
that just tells you how to solve it.
You can't miss the sign. It's like on the path to realizing there's a puzzle. You might not even know there's a puzzle by the time you read the sign. Oh man, Skyward Sword.
It's one of those games where there's enough good things in it that they could probably salvage it, but I know they would never put the work into doing it.
Yeah. If they did an HD remake and just toned down the handholding, it would be an okay Zelda game.
Yeah, they got rid of the handholding and then added some interesting stuff in the sky, and then made going between the different worlds either instantaneous or at least make the sky flying interesting. I feel like they just need to have like an instant teleport in that game.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it still has way too much filler. But yeah, I mean, one of the bigger instances of filler is that to go anywhere, you have to go through the sky.
Yeah, and the sky doesn't even have anything in it, and
Right.
it's like after Wind Waker, it's sort of appalling.
Absolutely, yeah. They put all this effort into making birds you can fly around with motion controls, and that did nothing with it except make you do it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we put all this work into it, and you are going to enjoy it now.
See you again in 5 hours.
Oh. I did collect the big key, didn't I? Yes, okay. I just need to go grab the treasure chest.
Yep.
Before I move on. Which I think was up here.
Up from here.
I don't know, maybe I should go consult a guide on it.
Oh no, an empty room with nothing to do.
There we go. Man, the power glove is so bad.
Link's hand actually changes color now.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Like, it's gray now. I had never noticed that before.
Someone pointed out to me a while back.
This game is actually pretty clever because, like, all the upgrades actually affect Link's sprite.
Yeah. I always appreciate that. You take it for granted now, but back in 1991, that was not the norm.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. And it's even clever because it's like even for the clothes, it's not just a straight up palette swap. Like, they sort of have him mix all of his clothes together. Like, he decides, well, I'm going to keep using the blue tunic for my hat, so I can protect my head, but I'm going to use the red tunic for my body.
Right. Okay, well, for phase 2 of this, we should take a break.
All right, we will be back next time. Good night.